Greetings from CoinGraph Market. Here's where we change your cryptocurrency experience. Are you sick and weary of watching the market all the time? With our $1,000 to $100,000 trading challenge, which costs just $79 a month, you can now trade like a pro without spending all of your time in front of a computer. My trades can be automatically mirrored by you. Upgrade your cryptocurrency skills with Satoshi Swiss by subscribing now. Together, let's take over the crypto industry. To join, click the first link in the description below. And now let's begin the video at last. Today marks the start of the Saturday NFL games. We had access to 3 games. I love it 481. That is not a reason to be upset. There will be some bad weather here though. It looks like we are going to have heavy rain all day. But you really can't complain. After all, we got rain and football, I suppose. It appears I don't have to go from that house. It doesn't really bother me. We have plenty to discuss. We'll talk about the CCI's recent court rulings regarding Coinbase, the court of exchange traded funds and TFU, and the impact that ETFs have on the markets in this video. For me, an amazing article opened. We're going to be successful. Let the US persuade us that we are not acting or paying any attention to cryptocurrencies, and then watch as the US unexpectedly overtakes all other countries in this race. We will debate whether the US is falling behind or if this is all part of the ETFs coming soon. Gary Gensler got some nasty comments. We'll talk about them. We are going to discuss some predictions, and Ripple has done a good job of presenting the information. So without further ado, let's get started. The price of Bitcoin dropped by 0.13 in the last day due to $42,472. The price of Ethereum is $22.50. There is a 0.24% outage. We're hoping that USDT and USD would return to the dollar pegs, and they have at a mean line of 62 cents. XRP has decreased by 0.17. Remember that this enchanted range includes XREP. I want to talk to you about this for a while. It seems like something has to give at 60 cents, 70 cents eventually. In order to talk about dollar range, we hope that the 70 cents barrier is crossed rather than the 60 cents threshold. The currency market cap of $1,620,000,000 is being discussed. Keep in mind that the gold is currently set at $1.75 trillion with a potential drop to $1.25 trillion. Let's not get carried away too quickly, people. Remember, how can we predict when the bull market will peak? It's an extremely simple formula. You observe the stock market's wild swings. You can be certain that the rise in equities like Bitcoin and Ethereum will coincide with the cryptocurrency bull run. The value of your other coins will then increase. We're still not quite there. Right now, this is funny. It was necessary to post this. The EC versus Coinbase. Despite this, Coinbase seems to be getting the standard yellow card from the CC. What exactly is Coinbase taking out? The ordinal onboard reverse Arduino card. You have to love that. People absolutely insane. It's right here for us. Gensler Gary, he does however affirm that the CC must abide by the rulings of the court and that the Bitcoin ETF will most likely need to be approved. Will there be a Bitcoin ETF released in January? That is the question. Gensler's admission that the CC is subject to court orders and cannot operate outside the law is a positive development. Remember the legal battle between Ripple and the SEC? The SEC was gloatingly proclaiming, you know what, Ripple needs to show up in court. In the end, the judge will determine whether XRP meets the requirements for securities and whether Ripple was permitted to sell XRP institutions. And what happened next till the courts rendered a verdict? What has the CC said? The courts don't need to be heard in a place our size. It is not necessary for us to accept the court's verdict. The SEC subsequently withdrew its earlier statement that the courts would make the final decision. All right, whatever. The court made this declaration. We don't believe that XRP remains a security even. No, that's not what I think. Not at all in that way. You desired that cases pertaining to these cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency companies be heard by the courts. You wanted the judge to make the final decision and judgment. That is exactly what has happened. It's not a security either, it's not safe now, and it never will be. Both the cat and the genie are no longer in the bag. Gary Gensler finally admitting that they will have to follow the court's decisions. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about ETFs. ETFs will soon be available. What counts is when the ETF is expected to arrive. What effect does ETF country have on the market? The writer of this work is Oliver Weinman, talks about how exchange traded funds are growing. As per the report, the emergence of exchange traded funds has been the most disruptive trend in the asset management industry over the last 2 decades. There were $15 trillion more in ETFs under management in the US and Europe alone by December of last year than there were in 2010. According to them, active ETFs will account for a sizable portion of growth, offering the industry a lucrative opportunity that asset managers cannot pass up. Regardless of whether they are actively participating in the ETF market, as a result, we will soon see ETFs for numerous cryptocurrencies, including XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, all of which will continue to grow. If we see over $6 trillion in ETF bias alone, we're talking about a $15 trillion total market capitalization for cryptocurrencies. That's where we're going to end up. This will become very popular when will we get not this bull market cycle, but please, as more institutions grow, more use cases become apparent and more clarity is gained over time. The number of ATS in the cryptocurrency space is likely to rise, which will significantly increase market liquidity. People, that is how early it is. Coinbase wins out. Brian Armstrong released this pleasant Le Triumph. We will fight in court the CC refusal to set clear rules for the industry. It was a triumph. A judge gave them an order to respond. Now that our request has been made, we have the legal means to contest their official denial, which will move us one step closer to definite relations. Like, for what reason specifically does the SEC not want to respond to open-ended regulatory inquiries about the cryptocurrency sector? That's a really good question. The CC contends that there should be no need for clarification because the laws governing cryptocurrency markets are so clear. People think about that. It should be unnecessary for the CC to defend itself because the laws governing cryptography are so clear. Rather than just announcing these exact regulations, the CC would rather carry on these legal battles